You're singing Happy Birthday off key, a little too loud. There's a cupcake on the floor. That's a cupcake made for dogs. Yes, that's a real thing. Yes, you bought it. And there's a tiny hat held on by an elastic band that your dog has already tried to eat twice. Hold up the chewed elastic band. You are, and I say this with full love and zero judgment, crying a little. And your dog? Your dog is staring at that cupcake with the focused, unblinking intensity of a Wall Street trader watching a stock about to break resistance. They are not thinking about the year you've had together. They're not feeling the warm anniversary weight of the day you brought them home. They have absolutely no idea it's their birthday. They don't know what a birthday is, and yet something real is happening in this room. Something that matters. We're going to come back to this exact moment at the end of this video, and I promise you, it's going to hit differently. Here's the story we've all decided is true. Dogs are basically furry children. They experience love, jealousy, celebration, and heartbreak the way we do. Treating them like family members isn't just acceptable. It's scientifically validated, emotionally healthy, and frankly, the only correct way to live. Instagram agrees. TikTok agrees loudly with trending audio. The entire global pet industry, which crossed $150 billion last year, absolutely agrees and has built an entire economy around you agreeing too. And honestly, it feels true. That's the problem. Okay, so the love is real. I want to be completely clear about that first. The bond is real. The attachment between you and your dog is neurologically verified, measurable, and genuinely mutual. That's not the issue. Look slightly off camera. So, dogs basically experience us the way a child experiences a parent. Actually, wait, no. That comparison helps us feel better. But it might be, and this took me a while to sit with, it might actually be making things worse for them. The Fur Baby framework projects human developmental needs onto an animal with a completely different perceptual and social architecture. Dr. Two Fowles, John Bradshaw, a leading researcher in anthrozoology and dog behavior, has found that heavy humanization of dogs can generate chronic low-level stress in the animal, not because the love is wrong, because the shape of the love is mismatched. So what do dogs actually need from us? Here's where it gets genuinely interesting. Research from the Dog Cognition Lab at the University of Portsmouth shows dogs don't perceive social relationships through family hierarchy the way humans do. They don't experience us as parents in the developmental, psychological sense. They perceive us primarily as safe base figures, a concept borrowed from attachment theory, but operating very differently than parent-child bonding. They're not looking for a parent, they're looking for a trusted anchor in an unpredictable environment. And the distinction sounds small, but behaviorally, it's enormous. A child needs nurturing, needs to be taught, needs emotional mirroring. An anchor needs to be consistent, calm, and readable. That Velcro dog behavior, the way your dog follows you from room to room, including absolutely into the bathroom, zero exceptions, that's not neediness. That's safe-based proximity. They're not clingy, they're navigating. When we treat dogs as children, we accidentally load them with emotional labor they're not built to carry. We need them to celebrate with us, grieve with us, understand our explanations, sigh deeply, and when they don't respond the way a child would, when they eat the birthday card instead of sniffing it with gentle reverence, when they wander off mid-hug to investigate a smell on the baseboard, we feel it. That tiny sting, that flash of, they don't love me the right way. I know you felt it. I have too. But that sting is entirely a product of the wrong framework. It's not them failing you. It's us expecting a translation they don't speak. They love you completely. Profoundly, actually. Just not in the human shape. Your dog's primary experience of you isn't visual. It isn't verbal. It's olfactory. Before you said a single word, before you've made a face or changed your posture, your dog has already read your hormonal state, your stress levels, your blood pressure shifts. Alexandra Horowitz, a cognitive scientist at Barnard College who has spent years studying canine perception, has shown that dogs dedicate significantly more neural real estate to smell processing than any other sense, in a way that dwarfs human olfactory capacity. Hold up your own hand, this hand. They've already read it. They know where you went today. They know you were anxious during that meeting. They know you stopped to pet a golden retriever on your lunch break, and they have opinions about that. Your dog doesn't see a parent when they look at you. They smell a complete biological story, updating in real time. The dog-human relationship didn't start as a parent-child dynamic. It started as a mutualistic alliance between two social species who discovered they were genuinely more effective together than apart. Dogs brought tracking, threat alerting, warmth. Humans brought food, shelter, protection. It was a partnership of competencies, a working relationship between two different kinds of intelligence who recognize something useful in each other. The Labrador currently stealing a sock from your laundry basket. Hold up a single stolen sock is the direct descendant of that alliance. Somewhere over 15,000 years, the deal got quietly renegotiated. Nobody signed off on it. It just evolved into birthday hats and cupcakes, and someone crying while an animal stares at frosting. The fur baby framework doesn't just affect our emotions, it shapes training decisions in ways that can genuinely destabilize dogs. The textbook says firm, consistent boundaries, clear communication, structured expectations, and then real life happens and you find yourself explaining in full sentences with eye contact to your pug who is breathing loudly at a volume that should require a medical referral why they cannot have your pasta. You are waiting for acknowledgement. The pug has already forgotten the pasta exists. They are now interested in the wall. What dogs need: clarity, consistency, calm, and what we actually give them: negotiation, emotional appeals, lengthy explanations. The guilty voice creates anxious dogs, not because they're ungrateful, because our signals are genuinely confusing to an animal that reads energy and pattern, not argument. Here's the part that feels like loss, but isn't. Accepting that your dog isn't a child doesn't diminish the relationship, it deepens your responsibility to them. A child can tell you when something's wrong. They can say, "I'm scared," or "my stomach hurts," or "I don't like that person." A dog cannot. When you stop projecting human needs and start reading their actual signals, the whale eye, the lip lick, the stiff tail, the low whale yawn, you catch stress earlier. You prevent behavioral breakdown. You become genuinely the thing they actually need. Not a parent, a trustworthy, readable presence. That's harder, and it's more loving. Stop explaining, start being. Dogs don't process verbal justification. They process your nervous system. So, next time you leave the house, stop doing the long guilty goodbye. Stop the sad voice, the "I'll be back soon, I promise, okay? Okay, you're okay." It means the guilty shuffle toward the door, voice going high and apologetic. That ritual is not for them. It is entirely for you. And every time you do it, you are spiking their anxiety before you've even closed the door. A calm, quiet exit. No drama, no prolonged eye contact, no farewell monologue is one of the most genuinely loving things you can do. It tells them everything is normal. This is not an event, and they believe you. Because they're reading your body, not your words. Back to the birthday party. The hat, the cupcake, the off-key singing. You, crying a little, your dog had no idea it was their birthday. But here's what they did know. You were there, close, radiating warmth, focused entirely on them. They smelled your happiness, and happiness has a scent, a hormonal signature they can read clearly. They felt the low-stress, high-attention energy of the room. No rushing, no anxiety, no sharp edges in your body language. Just you, present. For them, they didn't experience a birthday. They experienced you, fully present for them. And in their framework, the one built over 15,000 years of learning to read our species, that registers as something deep and specific, not a celebration, something quieter, something that, in their language, might be the closest word they have to safe. That's not nothing. That's actually everything. Here's what I want to know. What do you actually call your dog at home? Not their name, I mean the thing you call them. My child, my baby, my little gremlin, my Frito Paw disaster who has chewed through 2 phone chargers and has no remorse. Drop it in the comments. No judgment whatsoever. I call mine my little chaos agent, and I will not be elaborating. And next time, we're going into the thing your dog does when you're sick, why they know before you do, and what they're actually responding to. It's weirder and more beautiful than you think.